Hi, this is Tom Sands, President of the Iowa Taxpayers Association, bringing you this week's Capital Preview. This week is the beginning of week 11. The significance of that is there's just 2 more weeks to the second and final funnel date when House bills need to get through the Senate committees and Senate files need to get through the House committees. So we anticipate several subcommittee meetings this week, as well as committee meetings. Also, there will be some floor debate also. This also marks the just 6 weeks left of the expected end time of session, so there's lots of activity that is expected to be here, and lots of things obviously to get through, including all the budget bills in those 6 weeks. This week in the Senate Committee, Ways and Means Committee, it has one Ways and Means Committee scheduled for 3 o'clock tomorrow, Tuesday afternoon, and it's got one subcommittee that at least we have some interest in, and that is today, Monday, Senate File 192. It's a capital gain deduction on real property used in farming. The reason we have some interest in watching that going forward is last year when they passed Senate File 2417 that made some substantive changes to Iowa's income and sales tax codes. One of the changes that is contingent on the triggers being met, general fund triggers being met, is a modification of the capital gains deduction in last year's bill. So this bill is making some modifications to those anticipated modifications that are coming when the triggers are met. And of course, for the triggers to be met, it can't happen before 2023. In order for those changes to go in effect in 2023, the state would have to average a 4% annual growth each and every year up until that time. While that is likely, or while that is possible, it is not very likely. If the state only averages a 3% annualized growth in its net general fund receipts, then that would be those provisions inside of 2417 contingent on the triggers being met would be delayed 1 year. If the state only averages a 2% annualized growth over that same time period, that would delay it even 2 more additional years. So, and somewhere between a 2 to 3% annualized growth is probably much more realistic than a 4% growth. In fact, with some of the uncertainties out there, 2% might even be a little more likely. But however, if some of those uncertainties happen in a positive way, such as trade agreements with China or other economic determinations that are positive, then those triggers could obviously be met in 2023. On the House side this week, this afternoon, the Ways and Means Committee is scheduled to meet at 2 o'clock and then again on Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock. There is no subcommittees that we're watching at this particular time on the House side that has been scheduled. However, they will continue to schedule subcommittees throughout the week. This week also on Wednesday afternoon is a joint session. This is when the House and the Senate go into joint session and welcome the new pioneer lawmakers that were elected 20 years ago. And so there will be a new class of those coming in. The pioneer lawmakers meet once a year, and they will be meeting in that morning. Then that evening is the memorial service. Every other year or every odd-numbered year, the legislature hosts a memorial service to memorialize all the past legislators who have passed away in this last 2 years. We are expecting an amendment to come forward on House Study Bill 165 that may address some of our concerns right now with the reverse referendum, but we have not seen that amendment as of to date. When Jen Kinglin, our lobbyist, spoke with Chairman Hein last week about House Study Bill 165, I believe it is still their intentions to move that bill in committee either this week or next. But that is yet to be determined. We will continue to work with the House Ways and Means Committee to improve that bill along the process. Of course, this afternoon, ITA's Sales and Use Tax Committee meets with the Department of Revenue to talk about sales and use tax and lost and how that all interacts to one another, both in the old law as well as now that the new law has went into effect. Tomorrow morning, our executive committee will be meeting with Governor Reynolds and then also meeting with both House and Senate Ways and Means chairs also. Tomorrow afternoon is our quarterly board meeting, which once again, the new director of the Department of Revenue will be in attendance in that last half hour, 45 minutes of our board meeting, introducing himself and giving a brief overview of the Iowa Department of Revenue. And then immediately following that board meeting, starting at 5 o'clock, is ITA's legislative reception, so we hope you have all made plans to be there. If not, certainly, if you have not RSVP'd yet, please do so and plan to attend. It promises to be a great event, and it's also a good opportunity to bring a guest and show them the importance and the relevance that ITA can play in their business. That concludes the video for this week. I hope you're enjoying these videos. I'm welcome to any suggestions or ideas you may have. Once again, I am coming in the crow's nest of the House chamber. It tends to be one of the more quieter places that I have found that I can do this in the Iowa Capitol. Until next week, we will see you next week at this same time here at the Capitol, giving you our Capitol preview.